All right, Shalom. Shalom. I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Muhammad Kwadash. I want to say double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching his word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And this is the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another quick lesson. And the lesson that I'm about to do is on this video that you see in front of you. It's entitled Salute to These Parents. 14-year-old son is not going to leave home when he gets older. Now, the reason why they titled that video this is because what you're about to see, you see Jake living in the lap of luxury, and two Judites at that. You know, because like a common misconception is that all the Israelites in America are doing bad. No, they're not. There's a bunch of Israelites that's doing well on different levels in America. And this is the reason why they refuse to leave America. They don't think that America is a bad place. You know, that Jake probably had a job, probably worked his way, you know, out the ghetto, probably a second or third generation Jake that was doing well in America. So to them, in their eyes, is that, hey, what can America not do for them? You know? And you got Jake, like I said, you got Jake on different levels, because you got Jake that's living in the fucking ghetto, but they don't want nothing better. You know, Jake think that getting a house, getting a car, having money, having a woman, having multiple women in this society, they believe that that's success. Why? Why do you believe that's success? Because I can tell you a couple of things I'm gonna bring out in this lesson that these Jakes don't even know that they're being oppressed. And that's another thing too, because here it is, we in this so-called queendom, this kingdom. The Esau's the one that's doing well. When we say Esau is doing well, we're talking about the super elite. Why? Because they own everything. These niggas don't own that house. These niggas don't own that property. Let his money dry up. Let his resources dry up in this society. Guess what? That house is getting foreclosed. Somebody else is moving in there, or they just gonna knock it down. You know why? Because you got an old property tax. That nigga, he don't own the allodial title to that land. He don't own the allodial title to that home. You know, so again, you got Jake doing well. And the reason what inspired me to do this lesson was actually not even so much the video. It was really the comments. And this person right here, Canadian boy, says, hey, wait, these people weren't oppressed. They made it out the hood. See, you can do it too. And that's what made me do the lesson. You know, and then somebody said, mama asked us, yeah, why? Because she paid for it. Because the dad got money. And then the first thing they attributed is Jake. You don't even know what the Jake looked like. You don't know what he did. But the first thing they do to attribute Jake's success down here in this world is selling drugs. It says finally a gangbanger / drug dealer finally put the illegal moolah to good use. So even if dude, you know, worked hard, you know, did whatever, was an entrepreneur, was successful at something, they want to attribute that shit to you Jake's doing something legal. They attribute it to you, Jake's doing something wicked. I'll play it real quick. Salaki, I'll play this real quick just to give you a synopsis.
Little man out. First home.
And you notice, the nigga woman, she's in order. She's talking all soft. Why? Because she got money. And like somebody had said, you know, there was reference to her ass, but that shit is fake, man. And she walking in the house with the Louis bag. Why you walking in the house with the Louis bag? You know why? Because she want to show, even if she's doing it on her way out the door, subconsciously she trying to show people her wealth. Because why? A Louis bag is an extension of wealth in this society. So they think. But who owns Louis? Not you niggas. You know, you pay an absorbent amount of money for shit in this society, but you think you free and you think you're not oppressed.
When he dies. And guess what? He's going with a date.
Yeah. Now he said they are just friends, but you know, we'll see.
So this is the first time we're going in his room. His room, guys, is like
an apartment.
Yeah.
For the most part. Yes, I love the color in that suit.
That's what you're paying for.
You see what did they happy about? Oh, that's that European cut. You know? See, this is why the Lord said this, Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword of destruction. And America is a polluted place, man, on every level. On every level, not just to mention the physical pollution of the air, the water, the food, eye pollution. Hey, this place is going to destroy you. If your heart is in this place, you're not going to leave this place, man. If your heart is here in America, you're going to die here in America. It's going to destroy you. You know? So these dudes, even I can tell this man's not teaching his son the law, statutes, and commandments, man. You know, I could tell, that's that European cut. And it's not just because of that. Because most people watch this video and say, oh, y'all just hating. Y'all don't like to see nobody doing good. No, this ain't hating. This just showing you the mindset of Jake. They're so low. Because you look at a nigga that think he owns a house, and he got a wife who you think is in order, you know, but if they had to live in a 1-bedroom apartment and their son sleeping on the fucking couch, bruh, they wouldn't even be together. They wouldn't even be together. So it's not even about us hating. It's just we showing you the mindset of Israelites in America. And not just in America, but abroad, but especially here in Babylon the Great. Everything about this place will pollute you. You over here getting excited about a cut of a suit. But in reality, all hell is being trumped up for you, man. You're about to get put to shame and death out here. Okay? This place ain't our rest, but again, you give a nigga a house, like say the Most High would have had it to where when Jake got out of hardcore slavery, you know, we got that so-called 40 acres and a mule, right? And then Esau just left us alone to our own devices. Man, Jake would not only populate to the point where like it's unobtainable, uncontrollable for the so-called white man. That's why he gave you Planned Parenthood. Okay? Yeah, in the same country that you niggas are doing well in, they're killing millions of your children every day before they even come out the womb. Right? But let's say that. Let's say Esau was the benevolent devil and he would have left you alone. Guess what? You Jakes would have continued. Look at Tulsa, Oklahoma. Look at Rosewood. Look at any pocket of the United States where Jake was doing well. They were blinded. And then guess what? The Lord destroyed that shit, man. He had Esau come in and tear it down. He had something to happen to where all that shit would go away in a night, yo. Why? Because this ain't your rest. America is not our rest. And that's the point. It's not so much that, oh, these Jakes doing good, we mad. No, we're not. It's not about that. It's the point of the matter is that when the scripture says what? Where your heart is, there is your treasure, man. And this guy's heart, he teaching his son's heart to be in this world.
You saw Oliver in the street? So this is his dwelling.
Complete with a sink, refrigerator, and this space right here is designated for like an oven and all of that, but we were like,
He would never leave home.
He would never leave.
We couldn't get him to go to college. He probably would stay here.
You see? So he's a Greek. This dude's father is a Greek. He's like Timothy's father, man. Oh, he want him to go to college. You want him to be a success. Like he grew up in success. But guess what? He's still under the curses, man. Hey, let Jake go outside. He probably go to homecoming. You know he got a car. So he probably go driving, hanging out with his friends, smoking weed, or just doing nothing, just being a kid, a so-called good kid. And guess what happened? The cops will run down on him, beat his ass, throw him in jail, lock him up, kill him. He's still under the curses, man. So again, when this person right here, Canadian boy, hey, wait, these people weren't oppressed. Yes, they are oppressed, man. They were oppressed. They are being oppressed. Why we say that? Because they don't even know they are being oppressed, man. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. And that gift can be anything, man. It could be to you, Jakes, Esau allowing you, Jakes, and a couple of your generation to live a moderately decent in this society. It says a present specifically in a good sense, sacrificial offering in a bad sense. So that gift in a good sense is what is that this dude got a nice house, his pop got a nice job, probably owns some shit, or probably is a so-called owner of some shit in his society. Probably played football, basketball. You see how you round it down? You can just round it down to a handful of things. Either you're a so-called entrepreneur, a sports player, this person claiming he's a drug dealer, which I'm sure he dude's not dealing drugs, but that's besides the point. There's only a handful of things you can think of that a Jake is doing in this society to so-called make it in this society. And so-called making it in society is just having what? The necessities of life, of fucking some food, raiment, and shelter, man. It's just that there's certain levels of shelter, certain levels of food and raiment that you're allowed to have on this society when you're doing a certain, when you're doing well or so-called well in a certain society. Because the majority of Israelites in America are oppressed. Not majority, all Israelites in America are oppressed. It's just on what level, you know? You got some Jakes that's doing well. And you had Jake doing well during the time of Yahushua when he was walking the earth. Out in Capernaum, they were doing hella well. They ain't had no riots going over there. They were living in the burbs. They had all kinds of stuff. But Yahushua told them that that place was gonna be razed to the ground, man, and it eventually did.
Yeah.
But yeah, up there you can drop, I think, a gas line or oven, stove, and all that good stuff.
This is a little dining area right here. So there's a dining, there's a kitchenette, there's a walk-in closet right here. But then he has his bedroom, he has his work study area, his gaming / YouTube area over there.
Like that.
So you see, like, it's not even about the fact that he's going on his prom. They're showing the world, look what he got. Look. So you tell a nigga like this, hey, America's gonna be destroyed. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we're the Israelites, that the Heavenly Father and His Son are so-called black men. All right, that the kingdom of heaven is prepared for you. These niggas they ain't gonna want to go. Why? Because their heart is destroyed, their mind is destroyed, and you can just tell a nigga woman, and I can see it. Like I said, this nigga lose everything overnight, which can happen. I recently saw that dude went from a millionaire to a pauper in less than 24 hours, man. So it can happen, but these Jakes don't understand that. Why? Again. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. So when you know you're being oppressed, it don't matter how much money you got in this society. It don't matter where you at in this society. Your mind is going to be upset. It's going to make you mad. It's going to make you angry, because this is not life. Having a fucking house and paying property tax, not only a allodial title to your land, your woman ruling over you. She's knowing that in the back of your mind that this bitch is only with you, cause you got a couple of dollars, man. You know, knowing that, hey, if this nigga's not oppressed, where the rest of his wives at? If he's not being oppressed, where the rest of he not in the truth. So this guy, where's the rest of his wives at, man? Because he don't know that he's supposed to have more than one wife, man. Your son's supposed to have his own fucking location in a palace, bruh. Especially when he's like over 12. He's supposed to have his own shit. Do you not know that? In the kingdom of heaven, my 12-year-old sons, guess what? They're going to all have their own palaces, man. Fuck a room, an apartment, a goddamn efficiency. Hell no, man. They're going to have their own palace, man. When my daughters reach a certain age, guess what? They're going to be married to men. And they're going to be living with their husbands. Right? And they're going to have, my daughter's going to have multiple sister wives too. Yeah, they're gonna be used to that. That's not gonna be an issue. You see? So Jake don't even realize that he's being oppressed. Why? Because his heart is destroyed here in America, man. Jake's heart is completely destroyed. Again, you over here working hard, hustling just to get out the ghetto, just so you can say my son goes to a private school. You know, my son, you know, he has his own apartment within our home. We don't live like small people. We don't live. You see, Jake, y'all niggas is throughski, man. And you don't know it. And then you got people that get on the comment board and say things like you're not being oppressed. Why? Because you're doing so-called well. You are being oppressed, man. Somebody said that's how you set your children up for success in this world. In this world, have them going out there blind, thinking that life is good. Like you're gonna have so-called generational wealth. Nigga, you still under the curses. Our children are still under the curses. He won't have to worry about renting an apartment and can look for a mortgage. You see? Which in reality, owning a home and having a mortgage, nigga, that ain't success. You know what a mortgage is? It's a death note, man. Salakia. Let me see if I can find it. I know sometimes when you press certain keys on here, when you're using this program, it stops working. But let me show you what a mortgage is. It's a death note, man. A mortgage is a death note, bruh. That's not a success. You see what happened in 2008 when all them jakes had them inflated mortgage notes, man. And they reneged on it because they couldn't pay this shit, man. Lucky about that. I'm over here talking, and I thought I was still recording. But again, let me go back over to what a mortgage is, man. So a mortgage is, it says a mortgage is a conveyance of property on a condition as security for a loan or agreement. It says mortgage literally means dead pledge. And it says replaced by the modern French mort, which means dead, and gage, which means pledge. So called because the deal dies either when the debt is paid or when the payment fails. So when the payment is paid off on that house, that means that deal is done. But guess what? You foreclose if you fail to make the payments on time. If you fail to make the property tax on time, guess what happened? Your house going to foreclosure. Your ass is in the streets, man. And this dude's got to hustle to get it back together. You think that nigga woman going to stick around with him until he hustle? You think they're going to go from a downgrade from that shit to living in an apartment that big? All of them. Hell no, man. These niggas, this is their rest. They're going to take the chip. They're going to follow this society. They're going to really believe that you can make it in this society. Not realizing that they're oppressed, because in the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be down here on earth, your son, by the time he reaches 12, is going to have multiple palaces, man. Not just one. Multiple palaces, man. He's not going to be living with you in your house. Why? Because he's going to be having children. He's going to have wives, man. Your daughters, they're going to be brought up in your house. But guess what? They're going to be married off, man. And they're going to have multiple sister wives. Your son's going to have multiple wives. If this nigga wasn't being oppressed, why he only got one wife? He probably got one wife, maybe a chick on the side. Fuck that, man. You ain't going to have no chicks on the side. Any woman you deal with is going to be your wife. Any Israelite woman you deal with is going to be your wife. Huh? But Jake don't think they're being oppressed. And on top of that, this dude, they showing you around a mortgaged house, man. A mortgaged house. And let's say we wrong and he paid off the crib. You still paying property tax, nigga. So guess what? When that job fails, when your entrepreneurship falls through the ground, when America is destroyed, when a dollar is turned into the RFID chip and this whole financial system collapse, then what you gonna do? This ain't your rest, man.
What you love? This is his bedroom. Bathroom.
Yeah, not every Jake in America is doing bad. But that don't mean that they're not being oppressed, man. Just because you're not doing bad. Or so-called not doing bad. It's Edomites, man, that been living like this for generations, man. You just got up on a level, man. And you're not even on a level, man. You still 273 years behind the average middle-class white family, man. So if you, Jake's got a big-ass crib, it's all immaculate and clean, which is nice. But guess what? You still being oppressed, man. You see? He have a woman that come up in the crib You know, the mom's gonna be giving that bitch the second degree. Oh, don't marry that bitch. I don't want you to. I don't want her, trying to take what you got, your inheritance that's coming to you. And you have a kid, and you gotta live up in the house with a kid, with a baby in this bitch. You see? Jake, you oppressed, man. Jake, you being oppressed, even if you got a nice house, you got a nice car, you got access to resources, you still oppressed. Luke 6:24. It says, but woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Right, you received your consolation. Now, we're not saying that the young Jake can't wake up, can't repent. We're not even saying that the mom or the dad can't. But what we do know is that when your focus is on the riches of this world, that's the majority of the people in this world. That's why it says, woe to you that are rich, for you receive your consolation. Right, this is your consolation. And when you look at that word rich, it goes into being abundant in resources. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Right, because this ain't going to last. The scripture says better it is to go into the house of the mourning than the house of the mirth. This shit ain't going to last. America's going to be destroyed. So anything you see in this country, it's going to be ashes real soon. That's why I don't pay to put your heart into it. Hebrews 13:14. For here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. Right, because America's going to be destroyed. Edomites are living in our homeland. You know? We're looking for a city that's going to continue forever and ever, eternally, man. Not no motherfucking house with a room the size of an apartment that we can show off to the people. Kids sleeping on a waterbed.
I wish I had this growing up.
You see? And so he said he wish he had this growing up. So he didn't even have, Jake ain't even live like that growing up. You just started. Again, so this is not hating. It's just the truth, man. It's just the truth, man. He didn't have that growing up. So you think your son gonna have that going out? Hell no. You ain't right with the Lord, you gonna die here.
Yep. Baby boy's growing up, though.
All Jake's supposed to live like this, man. Be able to live, be able to have regular resources. You ain't supposed to be living in no box next to a bunch of people, bro. But in order to get that in this society, you gotta be wicked, man. And your focus cannot be on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And I guarantee you, he's not teaching his son the laws, the statutes, or the commandments, because guess what? That's what every Israelite man is supposed to do, man. So he don't know that. He gonna go to college, join a frat, hop up and down, fuck some bitches, probably get burnt once or twice, come home, and he gonna teach us. Come on, bro, man. It's not. Listen, bro, we still being oppressed. So it's, for this person right here that says, hey, wait, these people weren't oppressed. They made it out the hood. Why we even got to make it out the hood? You got Edomites that come from a fucking far country and come to America. Fuck them. You got gooks come from China. Come from a fucking field in China, come to America, and they're rich, man, automatically, yo. They got a system that works for them. They don't have to work their way out the fucking shanty towns and Chinatown, man. They don't have to work themselves out the hood. You see? You got people on there talking about the man's wife. And somebody says, clearly you guys are broke. Clearly his parents are loaded. You see? He gonna grow up to be a useless nigga. You see? In a society where you're doing well, you teaching your son how to conduct himself properly in this society and giving an opportunity. I was gonna say give an opportunity. No, because niggas are gonna be niggas regardless. But you see how they what they say? It says he gonna grow up to be a useless nigga. They're not saying it about Esau. If this is the Edomite family on here, you think you scroll down the comment boards and be like, oh, she gonna grow up to be a useless white whore. He's gonna grow up to be a useless white wigger. Nope. So it's showing you that you're being oppressed, man. Whether you believe it or not, you're being oppressed, man. Last scripture I got is 1 Timothy 6:9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. Right? Because the riches take away your sight, your spiritual sight. It clouds your judgment. You think you're doing well. You think everything's going to continue this way. You think your son's going to grow up this way, your son's sons, and your daughter's daughters. And it basically opening the doors up to snares, traps, foolish and hurtful lusts, man. You know, like his woman cut her ass up to get a fake ass, man. Now, you know, he paid top dollar to make sure she got the right plastic surgery. But guess what, man? She ain't even supposed to be doing that, man. You see?
I stopped by our next door neighbor. He goes to Newport too, so he's what, in the 10th grade.
10th grade.
Yeah, so they're gonna be casually late for dance. You don't put black buttons on? Hang on 1 second.
And it's crazy because you got Jakes in the hood. I grew up with people in the ghetto with the dude, he actually had his own crib, man. Because his father or his mother bought a crib and they just gave it to him at 16 years old. So he knows how to balance a budget. He knew how to balance, you know, his bills at a young age. So it's not just Jake that living in, you know, opulence and the fucking burbs, man. You got Jake in the ghetto living like that, man.
I don't have any shoes at all. But always our baby.
Yeah, she's always our baby, but that nigga can get gunned down driving to the homecoming. He always our baby. You still being oppressed. He's showing the car.
That's it.
Yeah, so I just wanted to do a quick lesson on that, man, because hey, this is not our rest, man. And Jake, you need to wake up, because this ain't your rest, man. This place is gonna be destroyed. So anything you put your heart into, this place is gonna be destroyed right along with it, man. So with that, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Yahweh Kakwadash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching his word in truth and in sincerity, and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Ak, and keep pushing, keep striving. We almost out of here. Shalom.